Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm excited to do some yard work. I'm going to go down to, it's kind of between Granny's house and our house. I'm going to be working there on an old clubhouse that we had, and maybe in the edge of her yard, just trying to clear some old sticks and brush that have fallen from the trees. Corey and I want to fix that spot up because, of course, the boys might play in that clubhouse one day. But we were also thinking about maybe putting a swing set down there in the edge of Granny's yard, just setting up an area for the boys to play. We kind of like to rotate them around. We play up here, we play at Corey's house, we play in Granny's yard, just to try to keep them, I don't know, engaged and happy and no crying. You know, you got to change the scenery a lot for toddlers sometimes to keep them from having meltdowns over somebody stole somebody's toy and I wanted to play over there and you're over there. It's the toddler years, you know. But that's what I'm going to be doing today. When we were little, we played in that clubhouse with my cousin April. She lived and grew up in what is now Corey and Austin's house. So she would meet us out at Granny's house and we would play in our clubhouse. We used to have a mailbox that we drug in there and played with. We had an old chair. We had a bucket. Just different stuff that we had drug from different places into that little patch of woods that was our clubhouse. All of that stuff is now gone. I got it out a couple weeks ago because we've been just kind of collecting all the old stuff from outside, like old lawn chairs, old fire pits, whatever, just stuff that you have outside that you stop using and it just sits around. We've been collecting it all and we put it in a pile. That's called our junk pile. And we're going to have a man who hauls away trash and junk come and get it. So those items that were in the clubhouse are already gone. I took them out, or I would show you. It's very sweet, you know, just kind of going back in the clubhouse, very reminiscent of those times that we all play together, and just a really sweet part of my life, you know, being right there close to our house, Granny and Paps, my aunt and uncles. So I'm just going to begin the project today. It'll take a little while to kind of clear it out and maybe make it a good spot for the boys to play in the future, and maybe we'll be able to put a little sandbox or a swing set or something there to where we could kind of meet, me and Corey, meet down there and have the boys play and sit and watch them. Just think it's a really sweet thought. So I'm going to get what I need. I've got a folding saw that I'm going to borrow from Dad. That may just be all I take. And then maybe I'll just rely on my muscles, what little muscles I have for the rest of it. But that's what I'm going to be doing. So let's go. Just to show you around a little bit. So there's our house. And this is the old clubhouse. You can see the shed a little bit through the leaves up there. So you can see a big log that's right there, a dead limb that's kind of fell up there, and over here there's a little bit of a silt screen. At one time somebody did some dozer work above, a little bit above us, and it opened a natural spring and it started flowing down through here. So we put up that silt screen to keep it out of Granny's yard, which is just, her yard is just right there. And eventually the spring, I can't remember if it either dried up or they rerouted it. So I don't know if it's still going through the rerouted place today or if it's just dried up. But when we were kids, that kind of silt screen part wasn't right there. So eventually we'll have to take that down as well. But that'll be another day because that thing is like pushed into the ground. It'll be kind of hard to get out. But in here is mostly where we played, and it looks a lot different. You know, this tree that fell kind of knocked down some stuff. And then the edge of Granny's yard right there, the kind of the part I was talking about, maybe putting a swing set, is kind of on around the bend there. More like in front of this section of laurels and that tree right there, that bigger tree up there. When we were kids, along this flat area is where we had that bed spring, and we put all them leaves in it. I don't know where it went, if it's still under there or not. And then along this little bank, you can't really see that it's a bank, but it is. It's a step up into that part of the woods. We pretended like that was our kitchen, and we dug a hole in the bank, and we had a little cover that we put over it, and we would put stuff back in the bank like a little cupboard. And so we all had our little club, like in the clubhouse, we all had our little spots. Like I might have had one right there. Corey might have been like in the middle. April might have been over at the side. Like we pretended like we had our own little houses, like our own little homes. And then we would set up a little rock or a chair. Other times in other clubhouses we would set up sheets, and that would be like walls or we would have sometimes we'd build teepees, and it would be like a little hut, you know, that we would get in. We did all sorts of stuff, but we played a lot right here, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done, so I better get to it. I'm just a little bit skeptical because of this one big leaning branch above my head. I don't really like that. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that, but I just don't like it. I don't want it to fall down and bust me in the head. I'm gonna go and look up here at the top and see if there's anything I can do about it, or if that's something I need to save for later and get Dad with his chainsaw out here, and then I might work over there or something just to get out from under this big tree. This is the limb. It's not really a limb, you know. It's like part of a bigger tree. So I'm just coming up here to like investigate like what it feels like, and it feels pretty solid. Meaning like it's in there. I don't know what I would do with that. I mean, I guess I could saw off one side of it right there. But I think that might just be something that Dad's gonna have to get with the chainsaw. So I'll leave that. What do they say? Rome wasn't built in a day. Like, it takes more than a day to do stuff. I think I'll just start trimming out some of the laurels other places in here, and then he'll be able to maybe get in here easier with the chainsaw and help me out with this like gigantic limb / tree later on. I want to leave some of the laurels just because, I don't know, like they were here when we played in here, but it just was more open and we were able to get around a little bit more in here. So maybe I'll try to keep some of them, but definitely make it to where I could walk around and like not get poked in the eye. Cause like right now, like, you gotta duck. Like this is like the only open spot, and it's probably because that tree fell and like knocked down some of the stuff above me. If you're like, hey Katie, what are you going to do with all this that you're cutting down? I have a place for it. There's 2 brush piles, one over here and one over there, that we are going to at some point set fire to or chip them. We're going to do something with them. And so I'm going to put what I'm cutting out of here. I'm just going to have to drag it out in piles and put it on the burn pile down there. Or chipper pile, whatever. y'all, I just kind of like sawed that whole tree down. But I just decided that I just didn't want it there. And so, yeah, I just took care of it. But I'll have to drag it out of here now, and that's not going to be very fun. I was kind of limbing this thing right here, like cutting some of the limbs of it out, thinking that I was just going to like save it. But I'm thinking I'll probably just saw it off at the ground to try to make it easier to pull this one out. I don't know, I like to take my time and be sparing with what I take because I still want it to feel like it's like a hidden little clubhouse. And I'm afraid if I take too much away, it'll feel less hidden, you know, and that was part of why we loved it when we were kids, but I don't know, maybe I will take this. There's not much of this left, so get out the handy dandy folding saw. I gotta find it, like where is it in all of this? I've made a mess. I got a little bit of that done, and now I'm going to attempt to drag this out. Okay, I'm going to saw this tree up a little bit to make it, I don't know, just to put it in smaller lengths, I guess, to put it on that pile down there. I'm back. I drug all that down to the pile, and there's a little bit left up here, and then there's just a little bit of like random sticks and stuff that were already here. So I think I'll go back and cut some more. Maybe it's hard to tell, but I can see right there in the middle of the screen. It's a little bit easier to walk in there. A little bit more of a walkway right in there. So I'm going to continue my work there. I could definitely just deal with this right here, and that would help some. Get some of this stuff that just caught my hair. This is nice. I didn't think I would be taking out like big trees like this, but these pine trees have grown in my lifetime. That one right there is probably only like 10 years old, maybe. They grow really fast, and I feel like we don't think about that. You know, we're just living our life, we're doing our thing. You drive past the same area of your property over and over, and you're not thinking like, oh my gosh, those trees are that big. In another 10 years, they're going to be even bigger. And you need to do something about them while you can, because if you wait and they get super, super big, then you got a problem on your hands. And you don't want to leave large pine trees around your house, because those are always the first ones that fall, it seems. So I took out that one. I took out that one in there. That one's kind of bigger, the one I was looking at. Honestly, I could probably cut it with this folding saw and just push it over. But I don't need to do that until I move this one, so I don't end up with a mess. But it's already looking like way more open in there. I'm kind of looking at it and I'm like, have I taken too much away? Because I really seriously, you know, I've been thinking, oh, I really want it to remain kind of enclosed as the clubhouse. But like, it's kind of hard once you get in there and you start taking stuff away and you see how good it looks. And it's just fun to do it. It's like, you just like, oh, this is so much fun to take all the brush and cut all the trees. And the more you do, the more you want to do. And before you know it, you're like, you just cut everything in sight because it's just so fun you can't stop. But I don't think I've taken too much away. You know, and it's going to be what it's going to be. Even if we get down to the end and it's a little bit more bare than what I wanted it to be. The good news is trees grow and they're always going to grow and there's going to be more trees, so it's not going to matter. I've got my hair up, but I keep getting it caught. Like in these branches and they're just like pulling my hair. But I am going to just like leave all of this because that's where that big limb is and I don't need to be over there like moving what's supporting it. So maybe I'll just keep trying to go this direction a little bit. It's kind of amazing like what you can accomplish with just a folding saw. And honestly, I'm kind of just abusing this one. It's okay though. But it is amazing. I mean, what you're able to do with just this. Because like, I don't know how to run a chainsaw. I'm sure I could figure it out. But since I can't run one, and I still want to be able to do something around my home, these folding saws are like, they're the bomb. Just don't fall on them. And be careful if you're not using it. Always keep it closed. So that way you couldn't fall and get hurt. And you always need to make sure that it locks in place. So that while you're using it, it can't shut on you and hurt you. Okay, back to work. Those lower limbs, the lower limbs were easier to break off because they were dead. And so it's like I'm trying to break these off just to make it easier to carry without having to use the saw, and it's just not working. So back to my handy dandy saw. think I'm ready to drag another load off to the pile. I must say, this feels great. It feels great to be out here and just like moving and physical activity, but it also feels good to be working toward a goal, like an accomplishment. I love working outside and I love getting stuff done. I'm checking my phone because Ira's napping and the baby monitor will almost reach right here, but it won't, and Mom was working at her computer, and I said, so when he wakes up, just text me, call me, and I'll come back up there. So just been looking at my phone, like wondering, like, is he awake yet or not? I don't know when he'll wake up, but okay. I gotta see how much I can grab on my way out to the pile. Gotta grab and take to the pile. Okay, I got almost all this, and then I'll just keep cutting. I was thinking there actually is a brush pile directly behind me at the end of this flat spot that I'm on, kind of at the end of the silk screen, and I don't want to pile too much on it because there's already 2 brush piles that we're going to do away with, but I might not feel too bad about putting some of this smaller stuff on it, and that way it would be a little faster. It would save me like trip up and down and up and down and up and down. Would probably be okay to put some smaller stuff on it. I was thinking I should probably kind of watch where I'm putting my hands and my feet, especially my hands, because my friend Dan sent me a video not that long ago of really just that direction from here, like up the hill from here. He found a rattlesnake and it was out sunning and they just happened to walk across it, and it was a really big rattlesnake and it was like really aggressive toward them. And so it had to disappear. But you don't ever know. I do think, and I have heard that rattlesnakes like higher elevations, but I know for a fact copperheads aren't picky about where they den. They'll be anywhere. I've seen them lots of places. In fact, one time above Corey's house, I don't know why I'm standing so far away from the camera, sorry. Once I was doing the same kind of thing, clearing brush and just trying to make the path look a little bit better. I was above Corey's house. Well, my aunt and uncle lived there then. And I was doing that, and I just stuck my hand down in a big pile of leaves, which was stupid. And I was going to bunch it up and just kind of throw it off to the side. And I picked it up, and I just felt like something wasn't right. I don't know what I felt. I didn't feel the snake, but I just felt like something was off. And I was like, this is not right. And so I just threw the pile. I just let go really fast. And as I did, I saw a snake just like flipping through the air because I just like threw it really hard. And it landed with a thud, and I went and looked over there and investigated to figure out what snake I had just picked up by accident, and it was a copperhead. And I was like, oh no. And so I just quit my mission and I went home, and I never tried to clear the path over that way again. So I'm like, I should be careful or I'm going to have a reenactment of that. And I certainly hope there's not a rattlesnake here. And if there is, I'm going to call my friend Dan and he's going to kill it. I could call my dad, of course. My dad's right there and he would kill it too. He's outside doing some stuff. So the rattlesnakes, you know, that's not something I want to mess around with. Our boys are going to be playing outside and they're going to be playing all around here for quite some time to come. And I don't like thinking that there could be an established rattlesnake population or just a few ornery ones hanging around when my little one's running around outside. So not going to happen. Okay, gotta keep going. I think I'm going to cut a little more in there and then drag some more. really want to take this pine tree down at some point. I'm not going to do that right now, but I may do it at some point. I was gonna leave this one, but I ended up cutting it because I just like broke it down when that pine tree I cut hit it, so oh well, it's okay. That was close. Oops. I've been called many things, but I wouldn't say graceful is one of them. There's another branch over here, like a big old branch that's must have fallen from somewhere up here and landed, and it's kind of in my way. So I think I'm gonna grab a hold of it and just drag it, and it's kind of big. I'm just gonna drag it backwards that way, so I don't have to fool with trying to waller it out here. You can see it. It's this one right here that goes down through here, leaned up against this other tree. I'm just going to grab it, I hope, at the base of it, which is around kind of that tree out of the corner, and just drag it off, because I want to cut that other skinny little pine tree that it's leaning on. Also, look at my hands. That would be pine sap. I'm not much for wearing gloves, but I guess I'm going to pay for it today. Listen, these pine limbs, they just make me mad because these dry ones are little and snappy, and you try to snap them and they hurt your hands and they hit you in the face, and I don't know, man, they just make me mad. If you're ever going through the woods and you're going through a thick place with shrubby little pines, you'll always get these little dry, snappy limbs to your face, in your eye, or poke you right in the nose. Oh, yeah. That was probably my own fault. It hurts and makes you mad. So, once again, I've been called many things, but probably not graceful. Well, I can definitely, of course, tell because I'm right here and I'm in person, but this is looking really nice. It's looking open, and I feel like when you start on a project like this, you're not really sure what you exactly want it to be, or maybe you're just not exactly sure about what it could look like, and so you just have to start. And then as you get into it, you can start to see what it looks like and what you might want to do, how you might want to change it. Most things in life are like that. You're not really sure until you start, and then half begun is half done, right? Then you can kind of adapt as you work your way through it and decide what you want your end result to be. When we were kids, it didn't exactly look like this. Like I said, I mean, it's probably like 20 years ago that we were playing in here. So it automatically just looks different. But, I don't know. Yeah, it's just different. But I like the openness of it. You know, not too open, but this openness, like this amount is nice. There's still some foliage there. I like it because it lets more light in, and I also like it when I start thinking about like the boys playing in here when they get a little older and being able to watch them. We went this morning to my cousin's house because my other cousin, April, the one I mentioned that we used to play with in here, she has 2 little boys now, and they live about 2.5 hours away. So she was here over the weekend for Easter, and she was still here today, and so we all went to her brother's house to play for a play date. So I took Ira, Corey took Woody, and we went to see them and my her brother, my cousin's little girls. There's 3 little girls, and they're about to have another baby. So we don't know if it's, well, I say about to, but she's still got some time. But we don't know if it'll be a boy or a girl, and I don't think they're going to find out, so we're excited. So we tell Ira and Woody, we're like, you're going to either have another little boy or another little girl to play with. But, you know, the kids, they get so big so fast. We were looking through old pictures, and I found an old picture of their oldest daughter's birthday, her 2nd birthday party, maybe, when she was 2, and then her little sister's 1st birthday party. And we both had, both birthday parties down here when my aunt and uncle still lived here, because that's their grandkids. And I was like, before you know it, Woody and Ira are going to be that big. They're going to be 6, 7, 8 years old, and they're going to be running around in here playing. And that's such a sweet thought. It's kind of sad. You know, it kind of breaks my heart because I love the baby stage. I really do. But, you know, everybody has to grow up, and so I think it's going to be sweet for them to have a place to play. And I would like it to be that I could, you know, I'd have to do some major clearing out over there, but it'd be really cool if we could, like, look out the window and, like, see them. Like, I could see them. Maybe Corey could look, you know. I'm thinking way in the future, but I loved it so much as a kid, just getting to play right here in the woods and just being outside, and I really want to have that for them. I want to recreate that for them, so this is part of it. It's just several years in advance, and it's possible that, you know, we'll have to keep maintaining this because trees grow quick, so we'll have to keep making sure that it's kind of cleared out. Okay, got to do something with this one. Oh, these limbs make me mad. Smacking me. I just really want to take that one pine tree down, and maybe it's not too big. So that's the bottom, and I'll pan up and show you the top. I mean, it's not that big. It's just skinny as it goes up. It's just a little taller than the other ones. But it's like the whole space kind of looks like, yeah, that's good. And then you just got this one skinny tree in the middle of it. I don't know. Maybe I'm brave and I'll just do it. But I got to put the camera somewhere where it won't hit it, because right here, it'll hit it. Maybe I'll put it over to the side. I feel like it's kind of dark, but I've got it on a wide angle, so you'll actually be able to see what's going on. But I do feel like because of that, somehow the lighting is a little dark, so I think you'll still be able to see. Ow, pine limb, ow. I might have not had the best camera placement because the branches, like, you know, they caught the tree. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is the branches kept the tree from falling completely, and because of that, like, the tree suspended and the branches hit the camera. They hit the camera tripod, and so, yeah, that was cool though. I might have thought it was going to go just about 2 hairs to the left and it wouldn't have hit the camera tripod, but cool. I don't know. It's like I was kind of pretending like I was a chainsaw cutter, and I like made my hinge, like my face cut, and then I made my back cut, and then I like got rid of all my holding wood, and then the tree just went right over. And you know, the thing is like only like as big around as my arm. It's like not even as big around as my leg, so it's not that big of a deal. But if you were cutting really big timber, it'd be a big deal, and you'd have to make sure you were exactly precise, or someone could get hurt, or you could damage property. But not that big of a deal for me. But I'm glad I cut it. I kind of talked myself into it. I was kind of like, no, I probably shouldn't do that. What if it's too big? I don't know. Can I do that? And then I just talked myself into it. I was like, oh, what the heck? It looks so good over there. I better just finish the job. So now I need to saw it up into smaller lengths and put it on the pile. This is going to take me forever. If I had a chainsaw, I would just touch it and it would be broke, and I would already be done. Or if I had a big hacksaw, like a great big saw I could do, but that's okay. This is going to work. If I would have cut this one early on, like first, when I wasn't so tired, but you know, I might not even halfway through it. Cool. Whew. All right. I got one last top of a tree to get rid of. And then I think I'm gonna have to call it quits because Ira is awake from his nap. Dad just texted me, told me. So I'm gonna drag this one off and then be done for now. But there will definitely be a part 2 for this video. And before I leave, I'll just kind of give you one more shot and maybe pan up a little bit so you can see that too. But I gotta get rid of this first. Y'all, I'm beat. I'm tired. It's all the dragging. I've got my wide angle lens thing going again, just to try to give you a bigger picture. So that's looking pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty significant change compared to when I started. So if I pan up a little bit, right here, you'll be able to see the top of that limb is gone. So that's the limb that is laying on that other brush over there that I didn't want to stand under because I didn't want it to fall on me. I guess that's where it came from right there. And that tree, that kind of looks like a maple tree, but I could be wrong. I'm not really sure. Anyway, definitely there's more light in here. Like if you could be here in person, you'd be able to see that it's just a little bit more, I don't know, bright in here. But there's still some stuff to do. Like I gotta take care of that limb right there. And some of the stuff behind me. That's the old brush pile I was talking about. And that old pile that I was talking about too. Eventually maybe I could make those disappear as well. But for now I'm just gonna start right here. Kind of in this flat spot with our old clubhouse, and eventually over there where my tripod is, we'll get the silk screen out and then open that up, like where the laurels are kind of bunched down on either side. Then that way you'd be able to walk through there without crouching. But I feel pretty good with what I was able to accomplish today. It was great just to get out here and work. Sometimes you just need to do that. You need to just get out and get your heart rate up and just move. So my hands are really bad. And the saw, Dad's folding saw that I borrowed, it's really sticky because I was touching it with my hands. Acetone will usually take off, like fingernail polish remover will usually take off really sticky stuff. So I might try to do that, but I guess I gotta head back home. But you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about a popsicle because, I mean, it's kind of hot, but it's not like so hot that I would need to take off my flannel shirt because this week we've had a round of cooler weather, like 60-degree weather versus last week, which was 80-degree weather. So it's nice. It's also not been super sunny. There's been a little bit of a cloud cover, which I appreciated for me being able to do this job and not like just be sweating to death. You know, at least I'm less sweating to death than I already am because the sun is covered. Imagine what it would be like. But I'm thinking about a popsicle. I never said what I was thinking of. I was like, you know what I'm thinking of? And then I just started down another rabbit hole. Thinking about a popsicle because that's how my mom and dad celebrate in Appalachia. That's my mama's channel, YouTube channel. You can go over and see her. That's how they end some of their outside working videos, is they sit down and they have a popsicle. So I'm thinking I'm going to have a popsicle, and Ira's going to have one too because he likes popsicles and he'll want to come outside, and maybe we'll run around the backyard, play, and have a popsicle. Before we get our popsicles, I was pushing Ira in this thing. One of our friends sent him this, and this is so cute. It's like a little truck, and he is really cute in it, and he loves it. So thank you, thank you, thank you to the person who sent it, because it's just like the cutest. It's so cute. So thank you so much for sending it, because we just got it and we just put it together, and he's enjoying it so much. Eating us a popsicle. Ira's got one in his new truck. I got one. These are good pops, and they're pretty good. I think this one's supposed to be like berry, raspberry or something.
I thought it was tuna fish.
You thought it was tuna fish?
Not as good as the Outshine.
Mom says they're not as good as the Outshine, but get ready for good. It said good pops, yeah. I don't know, I like them. You like the there's no halibut pops, is there?
There soon will be.
I almost finished my popsicle. It's about all gone. It's been pretty good. And Ira's still working on his in his little car. I don't think these are that bad, Mom.
I didn't say these bad. I just said they wasn't as good as the outshine. They're icier.
Yeah, they're made different, but I like it. You want to go down the hill in your new truck? Okay, hold on. You drive it? Okay, we'll go. Just a second. Well, I guess that's where this video ends. Man, I'm really tired. My hands, I scrubbed a lot of it off, but I didn't get it all off. I am pretty tired, but I enjoyed the popsicle, and I kind of had it a little bit out of order. Maybe I would have treated it as dessert and had supper first. You want to get the rest of your popsicle?
Mama.
He didn't eat all his popsicles, so he's wanting some more. Here you go. No.
Eat it.
Basically, I'm eating 2 popsicles because I don't want to waste his. So, yeah. I mean, I'm like, I probably should have ate supper first and then have my popsicles, but that's okay. We'll go down the hill in your new truck. So thanks for coming along with me. I'm really excited about continuing this project of working on the clubhouse and making it, I don't know, making it something fun. You know, it's not going to be exactly how it was when we were little kids. I wish it would, but it's going to be something new and fun, and I think it'll be a really good thing to have some of the brush and definitely those big limbs cleared out, because nobody, like the boys can't play in there, nobody really needs to stand under that. Like, that might be a potential safety hazard, so we'll fix it. I was definitely careful when I was in there, just keeping an eye on it. And thank you again to our friend who sent this truck, because Ira's been sitting in it and he loves it, and he is like, I asked him, I'm like, do you want me to push you? And he says, I sit. Like, he loves it, so. Push you now? Okay. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for whatever I think I'm going to do with the clubhouse. God bless you. God keep you. We'll catch you at the next one. Bye, guys.